Hey, what's up everybody? I'm George and welcome to the Collecting News, the show where I bring you my latest and greatest top picks for this week in collecting. So what we got going on this week? Been a lot. We've been out for the last week. Took a week off. Had some things to do around the house. My daughter graduated, so that was awesome. So yeah, just took a week off. Settled down a little bit, and everything's all good now. But we got some things that are coming out this week. We've been double timing it for you. We had a flash review that dropped this week. I got the Rogue Maquette in the house from Sideshow. I know you're sitting, seeing her on the table here right now. Tongue twister there. So she's up. Her review's coming out. I had a vote today on the Marvelous Knights group whether to drop the review today or tomorrow, and they all voted for tomorrow. So that's what happened. But I wanted to let you guys get a chance to see her. She's looking fantastic in my opinion. Just a little spoiler of what you're going to expect when you see my review tomorrow. I highly recommend you guys picking up this piece before it sells out. It's because it's fantastic. I know some people have been having a couple issues. I had a problem with Sideshow's shipping. I really did not like what they did with the boxing of it. Just letting y'all know that. But I feel overall the statue looks really good and she's worth what they're charging for it. So I'm enjoying the statue a lot. My new favorite. All right. Other than that, if you guys are into the Figurama Collector's Attack on Titan, that one's coming out for pre-order next week. But this week they have a giveaway going on, and I think that's worth of note. Is because they're giving away 2 Attack on Titan diorama statues. So if you guys are into that piece, if you guys seen the review already, I'll definitely post a link in here so you guys can check that out. But I'll also post a link to the Figurama Collectors group. Their hub is on the Facebook groups page, and you can get there, join in on the contest because that statue is insane, and it's definitely worth getting for free if you could possibly get it. So head over there, please, and enter in. Wish you guys luck on that. So without further ado, let's get into the collecting news.
I'm so excited, I just can't hide it.
All right, so first up, we got Sideshow in the house with another Thanos statue. No, not another on-throne piece, but this time it's a bust. And I gotta say, it is a fantastic looking piece. I do have some problems with it though. I have some issues with the things that I don't like about it. I'm explaining that to you guys. But overall, I think this thing looks pretty badass. First off, I like the way that this upper torso, head, and arm look way better than the Thanos on throne. I think that this is a much improvement on that look and design. I love the face of Thanos on this one, how angry he looks and everything. The teeth are all gritting. I think that looks awesome. I love the colors on this, very vibrant. The fact that he has the gauntlet, and they're showing that in the bust, I think that's fantastic also. I do wish that the gauntlet lit up. This one doesn't. So that's kind of a downer. Another cool thing about this is that on the other side of him, you get the Mistress of Death right there. So I think that is awesome. That is a really cool feature that they threw into this piece. Downsides to it, the things that I don't like about it. Number one, it's not an overly big statue. This one's 10.5 inches tall. And at the over 300 price point, I think that's a little bit high for such a small piece. The other thing that I don't like about this statue is that even though that the Mistress of Death on there is sick, I think that's a really cool idea to throw into this statue. I feel that it leaves the statue kind of unbalanced because you show him with one arm, but you don't see his other arm. And even though it's really neat to see that the death on there, it's in a position that when you go to display this, you're probably not going to get to see her. And I think that that's kind of crappy. It's because the way I would display this anyway is I would have the gauntlet, forefront, and you would see Thanos' face kind of behind that, and that's the way I would show him. And the death would not be seen, it'd be hidden behind him. So I think that wasn't really thought out completely. I think it would have been cooler if her face was kind of circled in front so that you could see them both. I think that would have been much better in my opinion. But it's still a pretty nice piece overall. Because of the 10.5 inches in size, this doesn't really lend itself to being a centerpiece. It's still kind of small, and I think something like this would be nice as a centerpiece. If this was maybe a much bigger piece, maybe like about 20 something inches tall, maybe double the size of it, then you could put it in the center, spin it around, and you'd be able to see Death and the gauntlet and everything all in one. So I think that would be a much better idea. Some of the other things I do like about this is like those glyphs that they put into the neck dress and then on the gauntlet itself. I think those are really cool. That's a nice addition to it. Really cool details. So yeah, I mean, for Thanos lovers, I think this is really cool. Be something nice to have along, your other Thanos statues. Really cool. So this one's running $325, so it's not extremely expensive. But when you're thinking that you're only getting a statue that's about 10.5 inches in height, it's not a really big piece for what you're spending. So that's my only thing. This one comes out tomorrow, so that's Thursday. And I'm interested to hear what you guys think about this one. Are you going to pick it up? Let me know in the comments. All right, and next up we have Primal Studios with my fun little friendly guys, the Minions. These guys look great. I think they are hilarious. These guys are, which Minions? They're Kevin, Stuart, and Tom. And, they look awesome in my opinion. They're not the uber super detailed pieces that we've come to expect from Primal Studios. This is meant to be just fun and entertaining, And I think that they nailed that in that sense. Not that it's lacking any detail at all. These things look highly detailed in my opinion, look just like the characters from the movie. So I think that's awesome. It's just that the Minions are not, crazily detailed characters. They're kind of smooth looking, so it's not something like, a Batman statue, let's say. And I also like that they're changing it up. We don't just see more DC pieces coming from them. We're starting to see a lot of other stuff, movies, video games, and things like that. So very cool. I could see this as something that I would put in my office. It's because these three little guys remind me of my brother, myself, and Seth. Seth being the guy on top, all full of himself, holding the beaker. So, I just can see that. And then me there at the bottom, trying to hold everybody up. So, really fun piece in my opinion. Not very, very expensive at all. This one's $129. So, it's a resin piece. It's not something that I would suggest getting for your kids, even though it would be nice, something cool to put in their room if you can, expect that they would take care of it. But I know that if I threw this in my room with my daughters, it would more than likely end up on the floor. So it's not something that I would buy for them in that sense. This is something I'll just put in the office here just for the hell of it, to make people laugh. And I often use the Minions, like right now.
What?
See? I use them in my video all the time. So anyway, I'm curious to hear what you guys think. I'm curious to hear what you guys think about this one. Let me know in the comments below. And lastly, my favorite piece this week is coming from Tweeterhead. This is their Batman Dark Knight statue. This thing is sick, in my opinion. They did a great job on this. So there's a couple of things I really like about this. First of all, they nailed the whole design of it. Really awesome looking pose. Really awesome looking sculpt on the character. I think they did a fantastic job with that. This depicts Batman when he's fighting the mutants at the end of the first Dark Knight Returns. So that was really neat. And I like that it has, at least at Tweeterhead, you get their exclusive versions, which come with options to swap out the portraits, and then you also have the options to swap out the arms where he's holding some batarangs. There's an exclusive edition on here as well, the muddied version, where it shows Batman more like he did in the movie, where he's all muddied up from fighting the mutant. And this one actually has a muddied base, whereas the original one has Batman standing over just the Dark Knight logo. So that's cool as well. But what I really love about this one is that the scale and size fits into more of like a 1/5 scale line, in my opinion. So it's much bigger, or not much, but quite a bit bigger than a 1/6 scale piece, but not quite as big as a 1/4 scale. So I think those are real nice and comfortable for people with smaller rooms like myself. It makes it a lot easier to display more of them. So figure that it's about the size of my Mythos line right here, minus the base. So it's kind of like the size of this figure. So I like that. And I really, really like the price point. Right now where other companies are charging, a crazy amount of money for a 5th scale, you're looking to spend close to $400 to $500 on a 6th scale, on a 5th scale piece. Tweeterhead has theirs comfortably priced at $235. That is nice. I like that. And there's a larger deposit on this than others. You're spending $100 on a deposit, which is almost half of what the statue is. But still, I mean, $235 overall for a nice detailed Batman like that, that's a winner in my opinion. So this one's coming out at the end of this year, 4th quarter 2019. So expect that towards the end of this year. Interested to hear if you guys agree with me on this. How many of you guys are getting this piece? It's going to be offered at Sideshow tomorrow as well, I believe, or towards the end of the week. But I would recommend you guys just getting it right from Tweeterhead, even if you have the points with Sideshow. One, I like taking and supporting the companies themselves. It's because they're the ones making these pieces. And then two, you get more options with the Tweeterhead version than you will with Sideshows, because you have the exclusive. So that's what you want. So Interested to hear what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. All right, and that is it for the collecting news. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As usual, please let me know in the comments below if there was something that you felt should have made the list that didn't make the list. Just let me know in the comments below, and maybe we'll put it on next week's collecting news. Definitely check out my show tomorrow. We'll be doing the review of the Rogue Premium format. It's the Rogue Maquette. The Rogue Maquette. We're going to be doing a review of the Rogue Maquette. It's an awesome statue, like I said, but I'm going to get all up close and personal with it, show you all the real details in it, all in 4K. So, you know, it's definitely a nice watch. So definitely check that out. I'll leave a link to that in the description below as well, so you guys can get to it. Thank you guys again for joining me for another collecting news. Like, subscribe, do all that cool stuff. Catch more of our episodes on mcecentral.com. I'm going to come back at you next week with another collecting news episode, so stay tuned for that. And until next time, keep it marvelous.